This isn't one of my shirts, guys, and it's probably going to be out of stock by the time you see this video, but I'll link to the store in the description box anyway. Elgintensity asks, how many cats/dogs per week do you consume for post-workout meals? Finally, a hard-hitting, serious nutrition question on this channel. I think I got this though. I like to center my carbs around training. Unfortunately, cats and dogs are terrible carb sources. There are no egg yolks, so I'm gonna have to go with 0 on this one. Post-workout, I like to have a protein shake, a scoop of whey protein powder, some pineapple juice, and some frozen fruit. Blend it up, that's it. No poodle noodle soup after workouts, kids. Elgin, serious question now. Would you ever create and sell your own supplements? I know I could easily trust you, and maybe you could put an Asian fortune-telling cookie, fortune cookies aren't Asian, in your supplements that has a joke about CrossFit inside. Probably not. A lot of you already know what supplements I take. I barely take any, and there's nothing I could possibly contribute to the supplement industry that hasn't already been contributed. I'd rather tell people what to take rather than make a product that already exists in the market. However, fitness YouTubers have been known to flip-flop on dietary supplement issues, so nothing's impossible. And impossible is nothing! Why not gaming in futility, just like exercises in futility? He's probably wondering why I don't commentate video game Let's Plays. I thought about doing that, but there are some problems. First, Let's Plays are very long, so I would have to find the fails in every hours-long Let's Play, or wait for somebody to find the fails for me. I would be very limited in what I can actually use. And two, unless you play that game, you're not going to get the joke, or even see what the fail is. Whereas everybody can see somebody flopping from a pull-up bar like he's getting cattle prodded, and see the humor in that, because we can all relate to the hideousness of the human body. In your opinion, are American Ninja Warrior competitors, the ones that take it way too seriously, just as lame as CrossFit Games competitors? Nobody is as lame as CrossFit Games competitors. Let's get that shit out of the way right now. American Ninja Warrior is pretty lame because, just like the CrossFit Games, it's a circus. However, Ninja Warrior competitors don't consider themselves athletes because they don't consider Ninja Warrior to be a sport. At least I hope they don't. CrossFit Games competitors think they're athletes at exercising. They think that what they're doing is a sport. And because of that distinction, American Ninja Warrior competitors are not nearly as lame as CrossFit Games competitors. Will there ever be an Infinite Elgintensity and Omar collab video? 0! Omar has no reason to come down to DC because there's really no YouTube fitness scene here. And I'm not flying to Canada to film top 4 calf training tips for beginners, because I can film that on my own right here and the video won't go down after 24 hours. I don't really feel like collaborating with anybody in the YouTube fitness industry because the vast majority of them can't fuck with me on the creativity level anyway. And at the end of the day, as well as the beginning and middle of the day, this isn't my job, so I don't want to go through all these hoops just to get another 12 subs. No, Jared. From your strength training videos, I noticed that you do way more pressing work than pulling, horizontal and vertical work. Do you get any shoulder imbalances from that? I always thought you should do as much pulling as you do pressing. I don't get shoulder imbalances because on a 4th training day, a separate day, I do side and rear deltoid work. My shoulders are just fine. Pulling muscles should only be strong enough. They don't necessarily have to get the same amount of attention as the pressing muscles. And if you're training for the big 3, they really shouldn't, because your back, your rear delts, and so on do not directly contribute to your total. They just have to be strong enough so they don't snap. If you look at all the best powerlifting programs, there's way more pressing than pulling. And my laundry's finally done. Will you be making a video or adding a segment to your upcoming videos about your thoughts on the C.T. Fletcher documentary? Probably not, unless A, I'm in the documentary, as one of his haters or whatever, and to the producers, I will be the most articulate motherfucker you interview for this thing, or B, the documentary's actually interesting. It'll be bad, but if it's interesting bad, like the master plan certification videos, which surprisingly aren't coming out anymore, then I might just cover it. I'm still wondering why there even is a documentary about C.T. Fletcher. Are we running out of people? Bodybuilders and powerlifters generally aren't very interesting, and people who wash up at both bodybuilding and powerlifting, like C.T. did, are really not interesting. Plus, his story about going to prison, getting out, and yelling at people for a living isn't going to sell unless he starts rapping. And C.T. Fletcher's rap career is limited to standing in the background of Cali Muscle's music video, so that career belongs in that fucking garbage bag he's wearing. Would CrossFit be a good way to exercise? No. wait, there's a conditional. If they did the lifts right, took breaks regularly, didn't try to make up retarded new exercises, and tried to follow a strict program rather than just doing whatever shit the instructor thought of before coming in that day. That's like asking, would AIDS be as deadly if you could cure it by eating an orange? Next question. Traps and ladders. Would you rather have a lunk alarm implanted in your traps, which is always on and prepared to turn on if you're making gains and you can't remove, muffle, or listen to music to avoid hearing it in any way for 1 year, or have every gym in the world, including any home gyms, transform into a Planet Fitness that specializes in CrossFit? Period. Fucking A. One more. That's it. You said the lunk alarm is always on, meaning armed, and prepared to turn on, as in sound off. But for a lunk alarm to sound off, I'd have to push a button, or somebody would. So, I'd buy some mouse traps, put the lunk alarm in the pile of mouse traps, and just make sure nobody pushes the button, so it can make no noise. Like the video and subscribe to the channel, now.
Everybody drugs them body sometime. Everybody tries the gear somehow.